Hello and welcome to Man About Campus with your host, Dan Bixler. Today I get to sit down with Catherine Shooter and talk to her about the Dawn organization and their media contest called Live It Up. How long have you been at the university and what is it that you're in charge of here?
Well, I'm the interim coordinator for the Dawn office. I first came to Bloomsburg in the fall of 2009 to fill in for the old director while he was on sabbatical. And then when he retired last January, or actually last December, I applied for the temporary interim position, and I've been here since then.
What is the organization Dawn, and what exactly is it that you are in charge of?
Dawn stands for the Drug and Alcohol Wellness Network. We're actually a part of the Counseling Center and Student Services, so we're in the Student Services Building, 253, and I'm in charge of, I oversee prevention and education efforts on campus. I also meet with all students who violate the alcohol and drug policy. So if a student, gets a legal citation, they'll usually be assigned to either come to a mandatory class or come in for an individual assessment, and I meet with all of those students.
What is this media contest that you guys are having? Could you just explain it more for us?
That fits into kind of the umbrella of prevention efforts on campus. And the media contest is, the tagline is #LiveItUp and don't drink it down. So we're looking for videos or posters from students to talk about that would address things that they do on the weekend for fun that's healthy.
So it's something more than just like getting wasted every weekend. It's to promote more of a better lifestyle type of thing.
Absolutely, because the idea, most students overestimate the amount that other students are drinking or using drugs. And so the idea is to educate students. Actually, it's the majority of our students are making really healthy choices. And so we want to address that and raise awareness to that population, because the smaller percentage, 12% of our students, may be engaging in dangerous drinking, but that's not the majority. But that percentage is very loud and very heard. So we want to give a voice to the majority of our campus and promote the idea of what are you doing on the weekends that's healthy.
Who will be judging this contest for you guys?
We will have a committee that will be made up of one of the mass communications professors, myself, the student director of the Husky Paws, and we're still in the process of securing a couple more positions, looking for another faculty member or a student.
And how did you come up with this type of competition? Is it something that you guys talked about? Like, who all talks about it with each other?
Well, as the coordinator for the Dawn office, I participate in an alcohol prevention coalition through PASHI. So we meet with my peers at the other 14 schools, and we have meetings as part of that coalition, and we engage in regular campaigns, social norms campaigns, and we decided this year to do a media campaign, video and posters.
What are some of the things that you've done in the past before?
Well, we had a large grant through the Department of Education, and we did some social norms campaigns last spring and fall that were poster campaigns where we used data from the core survey about how 88% of our students are consuming 5 or fewer alcoholic beverages in a weekend. And of that 88%, 30% are abstaining completely. So we would promote that in a poster campaign. We've also do giveaways. We give away footballs at football games where we promote the percentage of students who are making healthy choices. So those are some of the old campaigns that we've done.
Where do you guys find your numbers? Like, do you guys do surveys at different universities and then compile them all together, or how does that work?
Well, we've been using data that we use from Bloomsburg. Sometimes we use, for educational purposes, aggregate data across the nation. But we use it based on the core survey, which is the most widely used alcohol and drug survey that's used in college campuses. It's been around for over 20 years. And so we use that. And right now, we're actively engaged in a core survey right now, and we're surveying 2,000 students. And so we'll be using that data in our next campaign. But right now, we're using the data that we have.
When is the deadline for this competition?
April 1st.
And
midnight.
Do you have any tips or suggestions for anybody out there who's thinking about entering this competition?
Absolutely. So if you're entering with a video, it needs to be 2 minutes or less. It needs to be, it can be more than, you can actually make more than one submission if you want. But it has to be students. It has to be a student enrolled in a PASHI school. I would stay away from using language around Bloomsburg because it's actually a Poshy contest.
Okay.
And so the winner from this campus will receive a $200 grand prize. And then they'll be put into a contest through Poshy where they're eligible for a $500 grand prize. So the winner, the video, would want to be generic to address all students.
Okay.
So that's another piece of advice. And in terms of posters, the artwork needs to be original, needs to be appropriate, and addressing scare tactics is something we want to stay away from. Scary messages, scary pictures, those kinds of things. Humor is always good. So, and if you want more information about the contest, on the Dawn website, which you can find through the basic Bloomsburg website, which is just bloomu.edu/Dawn, we have all the information about the contest.
I just had one question for you. Why did you decide to get involved in this type of organization?
Well, I'm a clinical social worker, and in my professional career, I've focused on alcohol and drug education and prevention. I formerly worked at Susquehanna University, and I also worked as an outpatient therapist, and I just really enjoy, I love working with students, and I like the combination of counseling and working with prevention programming like this contest.
Thank you very much for joining us this week. And now, back to you guys.